We're back talking about the Conservation Trust for Florida, and I'm pleased to introduce Keith Fountain, advisor to CTF. And it's great to have you join us, Keith, and thanks for staying with us, Ed, and for, again, all the good work everybody's doing. And let's build on that vision of the cars, and what a sweet memory that you have, Ed, and how much they have influenced you throughout your life. And I think many other people, and David and the whole family, and Keith, you're carrying, and the whole board, that whole vision for CTF. How does that figure in?
Well, that's very true. The Conservation Trust for Florida has embraced and adopted the vision of the CARS and Dr. Larry Harris. And as a result of that, we've been working for over a decade with agencies around the state of Florida and other nonprofit organizations to create a plan of greenways around the state of Florida. Okay. And that's been led by Dr. Tom Hochter of the Conservation Trust for Florida and the University of Florida Geoplan Center. And this network of greenways is, it's unknown to many people until in 2012. There was a group of 4 explorers that formed the Florida Wildlife Corridor Expedition. And they demonstrated to the people of Florida and around the country that you can walk from the Florida Everglades, from Florida Bay actually, all the way up to the Okefenokee Swamp. And they were traveling through Florida's wonderful public lands. They were traveling across ranches, private timberlands, and this is the route that is also traveled by the Florida panther and the Florida black bear.
Okay. So what you're saying is, here we have this wonderful state, and we've got to make sure this stays, and that can be duplicated by other people, that these connections keep increasing, so that more and more we have that opportunity, all of us, to enjoy this in Florida.
Absolutely. That's the vision of the Conservation Trust for Florida, is a connected network of public lands in this state. We live in a state with tremendous natural resources. We also live in the country's 3rd most populous state.
Right. So one might counterbalance the other.
Exactly. We're going to have more people moving in here. The population projections for 2060 are off the charts. So the Conservation Trust for Florida is in a race against time to make sure that we can secure and protect these lands that were traveled by that expedition in 2012, because we want their children and future generations of Floridians to be able to take that same hike.
Yes, and enjoy the recreation, the safe water, all the different, Florida panther, Florida black bear, all of these species that live there, and we need to coexist with them peacefully.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But now you don't go it alone. You have lots of partners, right, Ed? You have lots of groups you work with. Can you talk about some of that, and how that has evolved, different federal agencies, and different ways? And I know you've worked with farms, with ranches, with horse country, many facets of Florida.
The Conservation Trust for Florida has a 15-year history of engaging successfully many different constituencies. We talked about the Greenways Plan. That's a product of input from many agencies. We were very active with Alachua County, and it's Alachua County Forever program, which was very popular here in Alachua County. We've worked with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. That's a federal agency. It's an arm of USDA that works with agricultural producers. We've worked with the University of Florida IFAS to put on workshops for landowners around the north central part of the state to educate them about the conservation values of their land and ways in which they can protect those conservation values.
Okay, so again, helping us see the bigger picture. In some of what I was learning, Ed, all these, you said you grew up being a part of the land and all that it offers. So we have all these farmers, we have ranchers, we have the horse country, and this impacts all of them more than we realize, because maybe we just live in our little city street of Gainesville and don't realize all of the impact of this. And that's where CTF is definitely making a huge difference.
Well, the great thing about the work that we're doing is we're working with these different types of landowners, as you mentioned, farmers, ranchers, timber owners. They're contributing to the economy. So we're protecting the land for its wildlife value, for its natural resources value, but these people are continuing those activities. They're
That's
continuing,
their lifestyle.
it's their
Yes.
way of life,
Yes.
and it's also fueling Florida's economy, which is very significant in terms of agriculture.
Right, so it's important both ways. And we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.